Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. In this series of videos, I take rocks that I find or purchase and I make one cabochon out of them. This week we got a piece of Ellen Jasper I bought up in Two Harbors, Minnesota. Let's make a cabochon. So this week's project is a piece of Ellen Jasper, and I purchased this, like I said, up in Two Harbors, Minnesota from Agate City. And I don't think they sell rough rock like this. I asked, and then he said, well, I have some slices if you want to look at them. And I said, yeah. So he sold me a couple slices here. This stuff is almost 2 billion years old. It's fossilized stromatolites, which is algae inclusions. And each one of these circles is an algae inclusion. Now, the pieces I got from him were cut both ways. This was cut so the algae inclusions are little circles. Then there's another couple pieces I got where the algae inclusions are actually lines like that. Now, when we were up there, I was looking for rocks, and I was particularly looking for Ellen Jasper. And I did find a piece, and this was featured in one of my rock cutting videos. I'll get it wet here so you can look at it. Now, it's probably not as cool as the two pieces I showed you, but you can see the swirling, and you can see the inclusions in there. So that's definitely a chunk of Ellen. So what we're going to do here, I kind of really debated over what kind of shape I was going to do. I think what I decided on, get the right part of the rock here. I'm trying to avoid all the cracks and everything in it. I think right here. I'm going to do this angled tongue. So we're going to go big. Get all the agate good, or the fossilized goodness out of this rock here. So I'm thinking right about there. And I'll take my super ultra fine Sharpie here, and we'll draw in the template design. There we go. So I'm going to take this downstairs. I'll have to take it on my 10-inch because it won't fit on my 5-inch. I'll cut this piece off, and then I'll cut it off like that, and then we'll take it over and we'll trim it out on the slab saw. And then we'll make a cab out of it. So just get it wet here so you can see what it looks like. There's a lot of hematite or hematite, I guess, in there. I think that's going to look pretty neat. Got, it's mostly red, and it'll be mostly red and silver, but there's some other colors in there. So the Mohs on this is Jasper, so it's about 6.5 to 7. I think they just go, oh, Jasper, 6.5 to 7. And let's see, yeah. So let's get started on this. All right, we're down here on my 10-inch high-tech lapidary saw, the first stop. So I'm going to cut this out of this slab right here. And I think I'm going to go this way and then go this way. And then we'll run it over on the 5-inch to get a little closer trim. So before I start, since I used it yesterday, this is the new blade, I'm going to go ahead and touch it up. This is a coarse grinding disc. You can see I touch it up quite a bit. What it does is it'll expose more diamonds. The other thing about this blade, just to let you know, this thing is absolutely not sharp. I'm rubbing my thumb on it right now, and you can see it don't even cut the glove. So don't worry about me cutting my fingers on this because it's not going to happen. So let's get going. Well, made short work of that. Let's move over to the trim saw and we'll finish this up. All right, we're on my 5-inch high-tech trim saw. We're going to trim this a little closer to the line. Like I said, the more you trim, the less you grind, but be careful. All right, that's close enough for me. Let's move over to the cabber. Now we're on my Kingsley North 6-inch cabber. We'll start with the 80 grit, 220 grit, and then we'll hit it on to 280 grit. And then I'll take it over, I'll put a dop stick on it, and then we'll finish it up. So we're going to grind it down the line here. Now remember, we're dealing with the radius here, so don't just hold it still, or you're going to put a flat spot in there. You got to kind of keep your stone moving, keep that radius. All right, let's get started. Well, I guess we'll be starting over again. There was a fracture in there and it just fell apart. I can't save this. And I want to do this shape here, so let me see what I can do. All right, I'm back. I cut off another chunk of this Mary Ellen Jasper. This one here broke on a seam I did not, or a fracture I did not see. You can kind of see that right there, which is probably good. I'd rather have them break in my shop than somebody else's home. So we'll take this one. We'll make something out of it still. All right, so same drill. We're going to start with the 80 grit, and I'm going to grind it down to the line. So we'll see how far we can get with this one. All right, that's close enough for me. It's getting kind of flaky on the edges here. I don't know if you noticed that. If you get too close, it'll start chipping off, and I don't want to chip it into the line. Well, we're going to move over to 220. All right. Kind of happy with that. Now we're going to move over to the 280 and clean off the 220 marks, and then we'll put a stick on it. All right, there we go. Put a dop on it, and I'll get back to you. All right, we're all dopped up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind this edge off, this top edge right here. I'm going to grind it down and leave a flat spot on the bottom here called a girdle, probably about 1/8 inch, 2 millimeter plus-ish. And then once I get that girdle established, then I'm going to hit, there'll be another line in the middle. I'll hit that and kind of work my way towards the center. And then after that, we'll start doming it. So let's get started. All right, I established the first angle here. You can see that right there. Here's my girdle. Around the bottom here. So I'm gonna work on this top edge here and put another angle on it, working my way towards the center of the stone. Now stay away from your girdle now. You've established that. You don't want to be cutting into that anymore. All right, I think I like that the way it's going, and another chunk fell out of this thing right here. I think I can work around that. Okay, I can hide that. So we'll just continue on here. Now I'm going to start doming it. I just want to show you, I'm not done with the doming yet, but you can just see the flat spot right here. It's getting close to getting smoothed over, and I want to go a little thinner. I don't want to dome this high, so I'll just keep grinding away. Just kind of, you know, mind your girdle while you're doming here. I'm liking that, like the height. And now we're going to move on to the 220 grit. Got some pretty cool looking designs popping up there. Let's move on to the 280 grit. Just checking the edges here. Make sure you ain't got no flat spots. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's move over to the polishing side. So I'm going to shut you off so I can move you, and we'll be back up over there. All right, we're on the polishing side where we got a 600, 1200, 3000, and then I got a cerium oxide right here. We'll hit that last. So let's get going. See how we're looking here. Whew. I love the pattern in there. Hematite's looking good. All right, we're going to move on to the 1200. All right, on to the 3000. All right, let's see what we got here for shine. Well, hopefully the cerium oxide will get this a little shinier. Let's move on to that. So I'm going to shut you off for a bit, and we'll get set up on the cerium. All right, we're all set up. Got the splash guard in place because this thing splatters water everywhere. Now we're going to turn the water on and see what we can do with this cab. See what we got going here. Yep, the magic of the cerium oxide. Look at that. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to clean this up here. We'll take this upstairs, get it off the stick, and look at it a little closer. So we're back upstairs. Got a really cool looking cabochon here. Had a nice clean break off my stick. And after a little mishap on the first piece we tried, we ended up with something pretty cool looking. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll take a little closer look at this. So here's this week's project, Ellen Jasper. You can definitely see the hematite in there. You can see the, what do you call them, stromolites, or fossilized algae. A lot easier to say. So there's the front, there's the back. So this will be for sale on the Etsy page, and I'm trying to get them. I'm getting ready to put the rocks on for the last rock cutting video I did, so I'm going to try to stay on top of it this time. Yeah, I'll put a bail on the top here, and so I started out with this one here. But it broke on me right there. There must have been a fracture I didn't see. So I was grinding it for the grinding it down to the line. It decided to let go. So I'll take this piece here and I'll make a cab out of it. Yeah, that's what happened. Just like that. So yeah, I was kind of impressed. Shines pretty good. So a few little flaws in there. I can see one right there, but no, I think all in all, I think it come out pretty good. So there you have it. Mary Ellen Jasper. I don't even know what episode this is anymore. So flip the camera around, we'll finish this up. So I took a piece of this, Mary Ellen Jasper, and made a nice cabochon from this to this. And we even had a hiccup along the way. So thanks for watching. I got a few things here. These templates right here, you've seen me use these a lot. I make these. I don't buy these. I make these on my laser at home here. So if you're interested in them, I sell them on the Etsy page, and the link is down below in the description. And the other thing too, I bought this slab at the Agate City store in Two Harbors, Minnesota. And it's kind of funny because I went there originally because they said they had books on the rocks in the area. So I bought this book here, and come to find out the author is the person that owns the store. That was so cool. He even signed my book for me. So that was Bob. So we got to talking a lot about rocks and stuff, and it was kind of interesting. And then I mentioned to Mary Ellen Jasper, and he had a couple slabs, and he sold them to me. So I really appreciate that. And let's see, I'll put his store. He's got a lot of nice jewelry and cut polish stuff. If you're up there, you should visit it. It's really kind of cool. But you got to check online though, because they keep kind of hours now. I think they're semi-retired. So I'll put a link in the description down below. So next week, Amy from Utah sent me a bunch of pieces of Wonderstone a while back, and I made a couple cabs out of them. I'm kind of really impressed with it. It's a relatively soft stone, but I'm getting really good results in it, and the patterns in these things are awesome. So next week, this will be the project right here, this Wonderstone. And I want to thank my subscribers. Appreciate you keep bumping the numbers up. They keep going up, so I ain't got a problem with that. And all your viewers out there that come back and watch this content every week, I'm glad you do that. I hope you're getting something out of it, whether it's entertainment or information or both, I don't know. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. There's a button down below, and then you slide over and give me a thumbs up, because that gets the analytics out there so more people can find the content. And then there's a hype on your mobile devices that's supposed to give me points and get my content out there, and then you can share it with friends and family or whoever, and then you can push the little bell button. It's like, pretty soon I'm going to have a list about this long for all the ways you can help me get my videos out there. And then let's see, I'm trying to think. Oh, and then I'm going to put I'm going to put a video up here. My first one of this series here, it's got a little more informational of how I do things. And then down here, YouTube will throw one in there. I don't know what they do, but hopefully it's one of mine. So I guess that's all I got. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.